Chapter 2001, Kill Her 1. I was teasing you, didn't you realize? The Emperor's face instantly darkened. State Preceptor, what did you just say? Teasing them? Was he kidding? Why did he dote on Qi Ye so much over the years if it were not for the State Preceptor praising Qi Ye to be the ruler of the four kingdoms in the future? But now, the State Preceptor was telling him he was joking with them. It looks like you didn't realize I was joking. The man was astounded. Don't tell me, you really thought an idiot like Qi Ye could become the most powerful person in the four kingdoms? When he said, idiot, Qi Ye and noble consort Lin both flew into a rage. State Preceptor, are you speaking on Qi Ling's behalf? Did he give you a bribe or something? Back then, you clearly said you would become the ruler of the four kingdoms. Noble consort Lin said between clenched teeth, her face livid. A bribe? Hearing this, the man unconsciously snorted. Then what kind of bribe does noble consort Lin think is enough to bribe this State Preceptor? Noble consort Lin was about to respond in anger, but the Emperor regained his wits and immediately glared at her, causing her to swallow her words back. State Preceptor. The Emperor's face was extremely unsightly and his words wrought with resentment. Why did you play such a joke back then? Do you know what a big mistake Jen committed simply because of your joke? The man peered up with a faint smile. Noble consort Lin was once disrespectful to this State Preceptor, so why can't this State Preceptor play this type of joke? Instantly, everyone turned their sight onto noble consort Lin's ashen face. Nonsense! Noble consort Lin furiously shouted, don't you dare smear this consort! Since when was this consort disrespectful to you? Oh, then I wonder who was it that flirted with this State Preceptor more than 10 years ago? Could it be, Your Highness the noble consort thought that was merely a joke? The events back then being spoken by the man again caused noble consort Lin's face to become flushed. Detecting the Emperor's enraged gaze, she bit her lips and said, yes, this consort was merely joking with the State Preceptor. Who knew the State Preceptor would take it seriously? Oh, realization dawned on the man's face. Since Your Highness the noble consort can joke with this State Preceptor, why can't this State Preceptor also joke? Right, Your Majesty. The man's eyes contained amusement as he slowly turned to face the furious Emperor. The Emperor suddenly went up and grasped noble consort Lin before slapping her twice. He angrily shouted, you bitch! You are a consort in the palace, yet you were unchaste and dared to flirt with the State Preceptor. Guards, drag this woman down to wait for punishment. Noble consort Lin's body turned numb from the slaps, and she grew limp, slowly falling over. Her face was full of despair. She understood that everything was over. She placed all of her expectations on Qi Ye previously, but after seeing this, he was already terrified to the point of not daring to say a single word. He was hiding off to the side in silence, afraid that she would implicate him. The State Preceptor slowly walked to the front of noble consort Lin. His smile was like spring air, but it didn't reach the bottom of his eyes. You once flirted with me, but after being rejected by me, your shame turned to spite and you wanted to frame me. Thankfully, I dodged your scheme and did not let you succeed. However, I noted this matter down in my heart. So I made your son inherit your mistake and used this to destroy him. Since the State Preceptor was declared to be the State Preceptor, how could his abilities be ordinary? Chapter 2002, Kill Her 2. He could tell a person's character from their facial features. The Emperor was fatuous, and noble consort Lin was arrogant. If they knew Qi Ye would be the leader of the four kingdoms, they would definitely spoil him. Of course, if he hadn't said those words, the Emperor wouldn't pamper him like that, and Qi Ye might not have become such an idiot. State Preceptor, you're really cruel to me. Noble consort Lin closed her eyes. More than 10 years ago, she was still a young girl, though she had married the Emperor 2 years before then and had given birth to the third prince. However, her heart was still young. In the imperial palace, when she first met the handsome State Preceptor, she had a crush on him and she even thought if he was willing to take her away from the imperial palace, she would give up the high position and great wealth she owned and spend the rest of her life with him. But unexpectedly, this man flatly refused her. For this, she turned her love to hatred. She tried to frame the Empress, Qi Ling's mother, for committing adultery with the State Preceptor. Then the furious Emperor would kill them both. However, State Preceptor found out about her little moves, and resolved this crisis easily. From then on, she knew that every move of hers was exposed to the man's eyes, so she had to give up on getting revenge. As she grew older, she became old, while the State Preceptor was still so handsome. She knew she was no longer worthy of the State Preceptor, so she never bothered him again. She never expected that the State Preceptor held a grudge against her, and set such a trap for her. At this moment, 2 guards walked up to noble consort Lin, propped her limp body up and were going to go out of the study. However, when they only walked 2 steps, Qi Ling stopped them. I still have a bill to settle with noble consort Lin. His eyes were gradually filled with killing intents. I wonder if noble consort Lin can explain to me how you mobilize those heavenly god-level spirit cultivators. To pave the way for Qi Yu, they almost killed all my men, right? Noble consort Lin shuddered. She didn't deny what she had done in the face of the State Preceptor because she was really scared of him. But she couldn't admit to what she had done to Qi Ling. Qi Ling, you're trying to frame me. I've never done anything like that. Really? Qi Ling sneered, it doesn't matter if you don't admit it. I know you did it. I don't know how my father will punish you, but I'll never let you off. As soon as he said this, the whole room quieted down. After quite a while, his voice resounded again. Guards, drag this woman down and break her body into pieces. Thrust her body into a statue, and make her kneel before the grave of her victims forever. No, Qi Ling screamed shrilly, Qi Ling, you can't do this. I'm noble consort, you can't do this to me. With that, she shook the guard's hands loose and rushed towards the emperor. Your Majesty, help me. I know I was wrong. Please ask Second Prince to let me off. Quote. The emperor looked at noble consort Lin coldly, and his eyes were full of anger and hatred. You wanted to cuckold me. How do you still have the cheek to ask me to save you? I've shown mercy to you by not killing you with my own hands. What are you waiting for? Take this woman away. I don't want to see her again. Chapter 2003, Kill Her 3. In this life, what he hated most was betrayal. Although noble consort Lin didn't actually sleep with another man, she wanted to, so she must die. Qi Ling didn't even look at the emperor. His eyes gradually turned to Qi Yu. His chilly stare made Qi Yu quiver and plop down on his knees. After all, Qi Yu was the emperor's son. He couldn't just sit by and watch him die, so he said, Linger, you, is your brother. And he has done nothing wrong, so just forgive him. Qi Ling cast a cold glance at the emperor, who allowed you to speak. The emperor's face turned green in embarrassment. What do you mean? I'm your father. Could noble consort mobilize those elders without your permission? Qi Ling smiled grimly. Don't you know you're in trouble? How can you still have the time to intercede for someone else? The emperor's lips quivered and his face contorted. Obviously, he was irritated by his words. He took a deep breath and suppressed the rage in his heart. Linger, I'm your father. You have to respect me. Now I order you to release your brother. Dare you not obey me? If my father treats me as his son, then I'll respect him. If he doesn't, why should I be filial to him? With that, Qi Ling walked towards Qi Yu without even looking at the emperor. The emperor got angry. Qi Ling, stop. You've become the leader of the 4 kingdoms, so you think you can treat me like this. But don't forget I'm your father. You have to obey me. Qi Ling paused, and his voice was very cold. Guards, take him away. No one shall enter his room without my permission. The emperor's fate was thus decided. He would be locked up in his room and never be able to leave there. The emperor sneered. After all, the Tianqi kingdom was still his. Would the Tianqi kingdom people take orders from Qi Ling instead of him? However, while the emperor was complacent, the ministers and guards had already taken action. Before Qi Ling gave an order, they had grabbed the emperor's arms and pushed him out. What are you doing? I am the emperor. Stop, all of you. The emperor panicked and shouted out at once. Unfortunately, the ministers had already become tired of his fatuous ways, and didn't stop. Qi Ling had gained the support of the general public, and it was he who made the Tianqi kingdom the #1 of the 4 kingdoms. Other countries had to take orders from them. With such achievements, the two reverent god-level spirit cultivators didn't have any opinions, so the fate of this dog emperor was already foreseeable. Say, second elder brother, quote. Qi Ye swallowed hard and gave a fawning smile. I was too ignorant. I'm sorry for what I did to you. Please forgive me for the sake of our brotherhood. Unlike your mother, you don't deserve to die, but during these years, you defied laws and committed numerous offenses. Qi Ling's voice was cold, so I'll have you paraded through the streets and let the public decide your fate. Qi Ye turned pale and he scowled pitifully. Second elder brother, are you trying to kill me? For all these years, he raped women, killed countless people, and committed all manners of crimes, but no one dared to punish him because his father was the emperor. Chapter 2004, Kill Her 4. So almost everyone in the Tianqi kingdom hated him. If he were to be paraded in the streets and treated at the mercy of the crowd, he would probably be killed. It's too late to regret. Qi Ling waved his hand coldly. Take him away. Let him try his luck. Quote. Of course, Qi Ye's body had been hollowed out by wine and sex, so his chance of survival was equal to none. Then, while Qi Ye was shrilly howling, Qi Ling strode out of the study. A gust of fresh air greeted him and refreshed him. At this time, he thought of the state preceptor who helped him. He was going to turn around and thank state preceptor only to find the state preceptor, who was just standing in the study, had disappeared. On the street, a man in a snow-white robe was walking. He seemed to be in a trance and he didn't know why he would come to this street. He just felt that there was a man who he was fated to meet was waiting for him here. The man was pondering with a frown and didn't see the road ahead, so he bumped into a young man who was also absent-minded. The young man frowned and angrily looked up at him only to see a handsome face. It was not the handsomeness of the man that attracted his attention, but that there was a familiar aura in this man that was so similar to Zhu Qian's. The young man was stunned, and when he was thinking, the man's gentle voice rang. Are you all right? The man's voice was tender and melodious, which broke his reverie. He was not Zhu Qian. Zhu Qian was so unruly and domineering, while the man in front of him was too gentle. How could such a gentle person be that bloodthirsty and hard-hearted Zhu Qian? Nothing. Mo Qiancheng shook his head and slightly lowered his eyes. Hadn't he already found Zhu Qian? Why did the man in front of him remind him of Zhu Qian? That's good. The man smiled, and his smile, like a spring breeze, passed through his face. What's his name? Mo Qiancheng bit his lips and asked shyly. Feng Jin. Feng Jin. The name suddenly reminded Mo Qiancheng of a poem. You were looking at the view from a distance, while I was looking at you close to you. Your family name is very special. By the way, my name is Mo Qiancheng. A cute smile appeared on his face, and his curved eyes looked so attractive. Feng Jin smiled and softly rubbed his head with his big hand. Mo Qiancheng, I remember you. But I have to leave because I have something to attend to. If we're lucky, we will meet again. Something. What is it? Asked Mo Qiancheng, somewhat disappointed. I'm going to find the person I'm destined to meet. God granted him no talent for cultivation but gifted him special eyes and wisdom. However, while he could see the fate of others, he couldn't see his own. For example, he could see that the young man in front of him was doomed to lose his true love and be tortured by unrequited love for his lifetime. When he thought of this, a touch of pity appeared in his eyes. Why did such a handsome young man have such a miserable fate? His heart ached for him. Mo Qiancheng, see you soon. Feng Jin waved his hand, turned around and walked forward smartly. Chapter 2005, Kill Him 1. At that moment, his footsteps suddenly stopped, because the young man's clear voice rang behind him. If I become a woman in the next life, will you marry me as your wife? Zhu Qian, if I am a woman and you are a man in the next life, will you marry me? Vaguely, a familiar voice sounded in Feng Jin's mind, which was distant but seemed to be close at hand. His fated mate was a man. Feng Jin smiled and shook his head. There must be something wrong. His sexual orientation was normal. He liked women, not men. How could his mate be a man? However, hearing his question, Feng Jin answered, if you are really a woman in the next life, I'll marry you. Then, he slowly walked into the crowd and disappeared from the bustling street. Mo Qiancheng looked at the back of the man in disappointment and pursed his pink good-shaped lips. He is not Zhu Qian. If Zhu Qian had heard this, he would disdain to answer me. After all, how could Zhu Qian, such an arrogant person, answer such a childish question? Besides, the Zhu Qian in my memory couldn't be so gentle. He always stood high above the world, trampling all sentient beings under his feet. If Zhu Qian was as gentle as this man, maybe it wouldn't have been so painful back then. At least, the man wouldn't act like Zhu Qian, who never spoke to him after he confessed his love to him. Mo Qiancheng lowered his eyes to conceal the sadness and pain in his eyes. He took a final glance at the direction where Feng Jin disappeared and left in the opposite direction. Fengyun City. Inside the cabin, a man and a woman were making love passionately. Young Luo Feng, soaked with sweat, pressed her body tightly against the body of the man above her. They could hear each other's pant. I think we can make it this time. I hope I get pregnant this time. Young Luo Feng panted. Even though she had reached the reverent god level, she still couldn't stand Yun Xiao's enthusiasm. Fortunately, she could improve her strength by having dual cultivation with Yun Xiao, so she wasn't as weak as when she just reached the reverent god level. It doesn't matter if you don't get pregnant, Yun Xiao said as he bent his head and kissed the woman's lips, all I need is you. Just as Yun Xiao was about to try again, young Luo Feng slapped him and pushed him aside. We've been here for half a month. It's enough. I think Qi Su and Qi Ling are almost ready. I'm going to go back and talk with them about the Freedom Union. Yun Xiao frowned. If you want to deal with the Freedom Union, I can wipe it out for you. Don't worry about it. More importantly, he didn't want his happy sex life to be interrupted by the Freedom Union. Young Luo Feng said to Yun Xiao seriously, no, I'll leave this matter to Qi Su and Qi Ling. We shall not intervene unless they can't handle it. Okay, that's up to you. Yun Xiao didn't ask why. He believed in Yun Luo Feng. Whatever Yun Luo Feng was going to do, she must have a reason, so he just needed to support her as always. Why don't you ask me why? Yun Luo Feng asked, blinking. Yun Xiao bent his head and bit her lips again. Do you remember what I said to you before? What? You kill, I bury. So whatever you want to do, I'll clean up the mess for you. Chapter 2006, Kill Him Too. I will let you do anything you want to do, and clean up the mess for you, saving you from any worry. Yun Luo Feng smiled. Her smile was breathtakingly beautiful. Yun Xiao, only you can understand me in this world. She returned his kiss. What I want is never your protection. I want to fight side by side with you. This action is the opportunity for Qi Su and Qi Ling to awe the whole continent, so we have to make good use of it. I plan to let them deal with it, and if they can't handle it, I will intervene. Yun Xiao's eyes were affectionate and warm. His woman would never hide behind him. She would accomplish great goals with her own strength. That was why he fell in love with her, wasn't it? Fenger, let's do it again, okay. Yun Xiao looked at her with eager eyes. Don't worry. I'll be quick this time. It will take 1 hour at most. Perhaps you'll get pregnant this time. The corner of Yun Luo Feng's mouth twitched. Are you sure it'll only take an hour? I'm sure. Okay. Yun Xiao never cheated her, so she thought about it and agreed. 1 hour should be no problem. Sure enough, Yun Xiao was a man who never lied. He said it would take an hour, and then it took an hour, no more, no less. He finished when an hour passed. Yun Luo Feng's body was limp. She clenched her teeth. How could you control the time so precisely? Yun Xiao looked innocent. I didn't spend more than an hour. Or less. Yun Luo Feng glared at him. Pass me my clothes and we will set off now. Okay. Yun Xiao reluctantly left her warm beautiful body and picked up the clothes he had thrown on the ground. When he was in bed, he tried his best to serve Yun Luo Feng. When he got out of bed, he carefully dressed the woman, packed for her, and even packed the books on the table. After all, Yun Luo Feng might want to read these books. Yun Xiao, before leaving, Yun Luo Feng took one last look at the cabin, stroking her stomach with her fingers. I have a feeling that maybe I really will get pregnant this time. How do you know it? Mother and her son have telepathy. Yun Xiao pondered and suddenly asked, why is it a son, not a daughter? I don't know, maybe it's just my hunch. Actually, I don't care whether it's a girl or a boy. I prefer having a daughter, but a son is also fine, provided that he won't be as narcissistic and shameless as Kang Ji. Otherwise, the women in the world will be endangered. Unfortunately, young Luo Feng didn't know that her son wasn't like Kang Ji but was Kang Ji himself. Of course, before Kang Ji started to harm women, he had been harmed by a woman and never managed to escape from her for his entire life. I prefer a daughter. The tender look in Yun Xiao's eyes deepened. If we have a daughter, she must look like you. Really, but when your daughter gets married, you'll know how Grandpa felt with my marriage. Yun Luo Feng smiled. She missed Grandpa a little. If Grandpa saw Bai Ling, he would be very excited. But, Yun Luo Feng suddenly wanted to tease Yun Xiao, if a man steals our daughter. Quote. Kill him. Yun Xiao's voice suddenly turned cold, and his eyes were filled with killing intent. The killing intent was not, of course, aimed at Yun Luo Feng, but at their future son-in-law who probably hadn't been born. Chapter 2007, The Eve of War 1. The corner of Yun Luo Feng's eyes twitched. Kill him. This was Yun Xiao's style indeed. It's getting late, let's go. Yun Luo Feng lazily stretched herself, looked back at the cabin and then walked towards the outside of the back mountain. They didn't know that when they left the back mountain, the small cabin suddenly collapsed. The Freedom Union. In a dark and damp woodshed, Princess Jinyang, Lian Yusheng stood quietly in front of the window. Her robe was fluttering beautifully in the wind. Standing upright, she looked so proud and aloof. She was not willing to act lowly even under such circumstances. Squeak. The door was pushed open. Lian Yusheng turned around only to see Lang Xinyue walking in. She asked coldly, "Why did you come here?" Lang Xinyue laughed, and her face was full of jealousy and hatred. Princess Jinyang, do you know why the leader wanted you to become his woman? How should I know? Lian Yusheng smiled contemptuously. Besides, your Freedom Union doesn't seem to be free. Instead, you're just as arbitrary as our imperial families of the Four Kingdoms. He didn't need a reason to do things. Lang Xinyue couldn't help but clenched her fists, and a cold gleam flashed through her eyes. You are wrong. The leader is not the kind of person you imagine. In his life, he has only had one woman, that's me. You are only the second one, and his true love was Yun Yuecheng, but that woman let him down. Even though she had slept with the leader and became his concubine, she still couldn't get his heart, while Yun Yuecheng, who stole his heart, was so dismissive of him. How could she not be angry? The leader wanted you to be his woman because you have a pure yin constitution. Hearing the pure yin constitution, Lian Yusheng, who looked indifferent, suddenly turned pale and her pupils constricted. Pure yin constitution. Men can boost their strength by making love to you. Do you think the leader would allow other men to get you? Lang Xinyue walked towards Lian Yusheng with a sneer. Unfortunately, the leader died in the hand of the ghost emperor Yun Xiao. Quote. Lian Yusheng was stunned. The leader of the Freedom Union died. Then why did Lang Xinyue still capture her? Why did you bring me here since he is dead? Lian Yusheng was puzzled and asked. Lang Xinyue's eyes suddenly shone with resentment. Since the leader was killed, I'll certainly avenge him. I brought you here so that the male members of the Freedom Union can enjoy your body. With you here, the strength of the Freedom Union will be improved a lot in a short time. This is your role. Lian Yusheng stiffened and she took a deep breath. I won't let you get away with it. It's not up to you. Lang Xinyue flicked her sleeves hard and coldly glanced at Lian Yusheng. Guards, take Princess Jinyang away and call all the members in. With that, Lang Xinyue ordered her men to take Lian Yusheng away with her and turned to walk outside the woodshed. Yun Yuecheng. The leader loved you so much, but you trampled on his sincere heart and even helped outsiders murder him. Chapter 2008, The Eve of War 2. Then I must avenge the leader. No matter you or anyone else who helped you must die. The Freedom Union was not a small tribe but a huge city. The headquarters of the Freedom Union was located in the central and busiest part of the city. At this moment, receiving the message from Lang Xinyue, all members of the Freedom Union rushed from all directions and gathered in the square at the gate of the Freedom Union. Miss Lang, why did you call us here in such a rush? An old man in the crowd asked with doubt. Lang Xinyue looked at the people below, and her eyes were full of grief. I'm here to inform you that, leader has died. What? Leader was dead. Everyone widened their eyes with shock, and some old people were trembling. The former leader just died a few years ago, and now the current leader was also dead. Was the Freedom Union cursed? Miss Lang, tell us what happened. How did the leader die? The old man asked hastily. Short of breath, he looked anxious. Lang Xinyue slightly lowered her eyes. I'm to blame, I didn't protect leader well. Quote. She slowly raised her eyes, and everyone saw her sad eyes, and they didn't have the heart to blame this innocent girl. Even though the leader was killed, that just showed how strong his killer was. Lang Xinyue must have escaped from the disaster by a fluke. How could they blame her? Miss Lang, you don't have to blame yourself. Tell us who murdered leader and we will avenge him. Lang Xinyue's eyelashes quivered slightly. In fact, you all know the person who killed the leader. It was Yun Yueching. Boom. This name hit the hearts of these people like a heavy stone. Those old people who followed the former leader for many years were surprised and cried out loud, it is impossible. How could it be Yun Yueching? She is the former leader's disciple and the current leader's junior sister. How could she do such a thing? Lang Xinyue's eyes were shining with tears and grief. She has a secret. Leader didn't want me to tell you because of the affection he had for her. But now leader died in the hands of that bitch. How can I still conceal it for her? Looking at Lang Xinyue's resentful face, everyone was stunned. What happened between the leader and Yun Yueching? Do you know why Yun Yueching didn't come back to the Freedom Union over the years? Lang Xinyue clenched her fists. That's because, just before Master's death, she came back and did something that was discovered by leader. On that day, not long after Master's death, leader found Yun Yueching rummaging in Master's room, looking for something and cursing Master as, old bastard. I was also there and heard clearly what she was looking for was a seal. Seal. Everyone's heart sank. After the death of the former leader, the seal disappeared. Nobody could find it. Did Yun Yueching take it away? Chapter 2009, The Eve of War 3. Lang Xinyue looked around at the crowd, and her eyes turned even darker. Leader was always filial to Master. When he heard this, he rushed out to question Yun Yueching, but she tried to seduce him to conceal this matter. Few people in the Freedom Union knew that the leader loved Yun Yueching, so no one doubted it when she said this. Indeed, compared with Yun Yueching who joined them later, they'd rather believe Lang Xinyue who grew up in the Freedom Union. Only a few elderly people didn't believe that Yun Yueching was such an ingrate. Leader was so angry that he injured Yun Yueching, but he didn't injure her seriously because she was his junior sister. However, Yun Yueching took the chance and escaped. Until recently, the leader received a letter from her. Quote. Yun Yueching claimed that she wanted to reconcile with leader and she knew she was wrong. Leader forgave her and took a group of people to find her, intending to bring her back. No one expected that Yun Yueching would cooperate with outsiders and murdered leader. Among the people leader brought with him, I was the only one who survived. Quote. At the end, Lang Xinyue couldn't help but cover her face and cry. She described the scene so vividly that no one could find any problem from her words. How dare Yun Yueching do this? She tramped the streets and lost all her memories. It was the old leader who saved her and gave her a comfortable life and great strength. And she repaid us with this. Poor old leader, he treated her as his daughter. How could she be so ungrateful? She went too far, too far. Miss Lang, tell us where Yun Yueching is. Let's avenge leader. Everyone was indignant. If Yun Yueching was in front of them, they would definitely tear her into pieces. Of course, there was still someone sane among the crowd. An old man frowned and asked, Miss Lang, are you telling the truth? I don't think Yun Yueching is the kind of person who would do such a thing. Elder Chin, cats hide their claws. How do you know what kind of a person Yun Yueching really is? We watched Miss Lang grow up and she never lied. In my opinion, Yun Yueching is a greedy wicked monster who wants to seize the Freedom Union. Exactly. Miss Lang, tell us where Yun Yueching is, and you don't need to care about your friendship again. This woman is not worthy of being a member of our Freedom Union. Looking at the indignant people, Lang Xinyue remained calm. She raised her hand, and in an instant, the whole crowd quieted down and listened to her. Everyone, since Yun Yueching's accomplices could defeat leader, it's like courting death if we just go to find her like this. Everyone kept silent, waiting for Lang Xinyue's next words. Then, under the public stare, Lang Xinyue continued, however, Master gave me a secret book that recorded how to quickly break through to the Monarch God level. If I reach the Monarch God level, how will I be afraid of those people? The Monarch God level. These words had touched the chord in everyone's heart, making them gape and filling their hearts with tension. Chapter 2010, The Eve of War 4. As long as all you reverent God-level spirit cultivators transmit your strength to me, I'll absorb your strength with the method recorded in that secret book and soon I'll reach the Monarch God level. At that time, no one on the Fengyun continent can rival me. Lang Xinyue said loudly with great seriousness. In fact, this method also had a backlash. Even if she could reach the Monarch God level with the help of these people, every night of a full moon she would endure unbearable pain. This was why the leader didn't use it, though he had long ago known this method. But now, to take revenge, she couldn't care that much. As long as Yun Yueching could die, she was willing to sacrifice anything. Again the crowd was silent. After all, humans were selfish by nature. How could they be willing to give out their strength just to help Lang Xinyue make a breakthrough? I know what you're thinking, but think about it. My master was good to you and the current leader, my senior brother, also treated you very well. Don't you want to avenge him? You can rest assured, if you give out your strength for me and for the whole Freedom Union, I will definitely repay you fairly. In the future, the Freedom Union will be the first to stand up for you no matter what happens to you. No matter who your enemy is, the Freedom Union will solve them for you. I will also feed and clothe you forever. At that time, the Freedom Union will be the real ruler of the Fengyun continent, and you will no longer have to fear anyone. A tremor went through the heart of everyone. Yes, if the Freedom Union became the ruler of the Fengyun continent, who would dare to show them any disrespect? Miss Lang, I hope you can honor your promise. The Freedom Union will never abandon us. If you are willing to do so, then we will contribute our strength. Okay. I can swear to God that as long as you are willing to contribute your strength, I will never abandon you provided that you don't do anything to hurt me in the future. Lang Xinyue's eyes were grim. Provided that they didn't betray her, otherwise, she wouldn't forgive them. Hearing Lang Xinyue swear to God, the crowd felt relieved and walked slowly towards her. Wait a minute. Just as several reverent God-level spirit cultivators walked up to Lang Xinyue, she suddenly stopped them. I have something else to announce. What is it? When someone asked this question, Lang Xinyue raised her hand and ordered guards to carry Lian Yusheng here. 2 guards walked over, threw Lian Yusheng rudely on the ground, and stepped aside. Lian Yusheng was gagged and couldn't speak. Her cold clear eyes were full of anger and she stared at Lang Xinyue coldly. Not looking at her, Lang Xinyue sneered, "This woman is an accomplice of Yun Yueching and I captured her when I was escaping." No member of the Freedom Union had seen Princess Jinyang, so they didn't know her identity. Even if someone knew this was Princess Jinyang, it didn't matter. As long as she said this woman had something to do with Yun Yueching, they would believe her. An accomplice of Yun Yueching? Then this woman must die. Miss Lang, I suggest killing this woman. Let Yun Yueching regret. Those people impulsively rushed forward and were going to tear Lian Yusheng to pieces, but Lang Xinyue stopped them again at this critical moment. Chapter 2011, The Eve of War 5. Do you think killing this woman will make Yun Yueching regret? You are wrong. Yun Yueching is a person who has no human affection. Otherwise, she would not be so cruel to leader. There's another reason I captured this woman, which is that this woman has a pure yin constitution. Pure yin constitution. Everyone suddenly breathed faster, and some people's eyes lit up when they looked at Lian Yusheng. So this woman is yours now. With her in our hands, I believe that the strength of the Freedom Union will be improved rapidly. Lang Xinyue pushed Lian Yusheng to the front, slightly raised her chin and gave a grim smile. Under the lascivious stares, Lian Yusheng trembled all over with anger. Her clear cold eyes were filled with unquenchable anger and she resentfully glared at these people. Throw her into the medicine cave, and in half a month you'll be able to improve your strength with her body. If anyone wanted to improve his strength by making love to a woman of pure yin constitution, he had to temper her body with medicine first. However, everyone would tremble with fear at the sight of the medicine cave. The cloth in Lian Yusheng's mouth suddenly loosened and she spat it out. Lang Xinyue. She raised her clear eyes and coldly stared at the expressionless Lang Xinyue. I'd rather die than let you get what you want. Lang Xinyue sneered contemptuously, do you think you can decide your fate? As long as you are put into the medicine cave, you'll beg for death. At that time, let alone committing suicide, you won't even be able to move your finger. Guards, take her away. She could only blame herself for having a pure yin constitution. With such a constitution, not to mention men, even she, a woman, would be tempted by her. Watching Lian Yusheng taken away, Lang Xinyue looked at the crowd and said, let's start. In fact, the Freedom Union had more reverent god-level spirit cultivators than the Jinyang Kingdom, but the old leader only wanted a peaceful life and didn't want to start a fight, so the Fengyun continent used to be peaceful. Of course, the reverent god-level spirit cultivators that the leader brought with him were created by him with a secret technique that was unknown to the rest members of the Freedom Union. So, there were only 10 reverent god-level spirit cultivators left in the Freedom Union. However, the power of these reverent god-level spirit cultivators was enough for her to break through to the monarch god level. Outside the Freedom Union city, Qi Ling had already been waiting here with a lot of strong masters. After a long time, he finally saw Qi Su and other people of the Ziyu Kingdom and the Tianqi Kingdom come. As for the Jinyang Kingdom, having defected to the Freedom Union, they had no face to appear in front of other countries' people. Second Prince. Qi Su saw Qi Ling at first sight and walked slowly by. Qi Ling nodded to him, you've come. Yes, Qi Su smiled faintly, and I have informed Miss Yun and she will come here soon. Qi Ling was very polite to Qi Su. After all, Qi Su was Yun Luo Feng's subordinate, and it was because of Yun Luo Feng that he had acquired today's status. More importantly, he had always appreciated Qi Su. However, he wasn't that friendly to Yi Lin, the general of the Ziyu Kingdom. He just glanced at him coldly and said in a cold voice, you are late. Chapter 2012. The Eve of War 6. Yi Lin paused and wanted to ask him why he only blamed him since Qi Su also came late. However, thinking of Qi Ling's current status, he didn't dare to say anything. Here they are. Quote. Suddenly, Qi Su seemed to feel something and raised his head only to see a handsome man and a beautiful woman in the sky. The couple stood side by side like a celestial couple. Their presence was as beautiful as a picture. My mother hasn't come yet, Yun Luo Feng asked as she descended from the sky and looked at the crowd. Master had come here. She said she was going to the Freedom Union city alone, and asked me to come here and join you. Mom went to the Freedom Union city alone. Yun Luo Feng frowned. Qi Su, Qi Ling, let's set off for the Freedom Union city now. In the Ziyu Kingdom's team, a girl in red was standing beside General Yi Lin. The girl looked handsome and a bit like Yi Lin. She must be his daughter. From the moment Yun Xiao appeared, the girl's eyes never left him. Of course, while in the Ziyu Kingdom, Yun Xiao wore a mask. Now, beside Yun Luo Feng, he didn't wear a mask anymore. Therefore, Yi Lin and his daughter didn't think he was the Ghost Emperor. Seeing Yun Luo Feng giving orders, the girl in red complained angrily, the team leader is second prince, the ruler of the four kingdoms. Even he didn't speak. Why are you commanding us? Yun Luo Feng cast a cold and wicked glance at the girl in red. Without a word, she headed for the direction of the Freedom Union city. Qi Su walked up to the girl in red and contemptuously spat out, idiot. He then followed Yun Luo Feng and quickly disappeared. The girl in red turned pale and got angry. However, before she could vent her anger, General Yi Lin stopped her. Yan, didn't you see the second prince of the Tianqi Kingdom didn't say anything when the woman gave orders? This woman can't be a nobody. You'd better not mess with her. Yi Yan bit her red lip and lovingly stared at Yun Xiao. Noticing her eyes, Yi Lin paused but suddenly he frowned. Why do I feel this man's figure looks familiar? Dad, do you know him? No, but I feel his back looks a bit similar to the Ghost Emperor. I don't know if it is just an illusion. The Ghost Emperor. Yi Yan laughed. everyone in the Ziyu kingdom knows that the ghost emperor is ugly. Otherwise, the princess wouldn't have run away from home to escape the marriage with him. That ugly ghost emperor can't be this handsome man. You must have the wrong person. Hearing this, a touch of doubt flickered across Yilin's eyes. Maybe he had the wrong person, but were there two people so similar in the world? Even their temperaments were so similar. In front, Yun Xiao put his arms around Yun Luofeng's waist and his handsome face was chilly. That woman has been staring at me. Huh, Yun Luofeng looked at him, stunned by his words. So, Yun Xiao looked serious, if she is still alive after this war, can I gouge her eyes out? Yun Luofeng had become accustomed to Yun Xiao's occasional bloodthirstiness, but the people following her almost fell to the ground. Brother, can you stop saying such cruel things with such an innocent look? Besides, you wanted to gouge out her eyes just because she looked at you. Chapter 2013, Conspiracy Exposed 1. At that moment, everyone's eyes rested on the two and their eyes were full of shock and fear. Yun Luofeng just headed for the direction of the Freedom Union City as if she didn't hear Yun Xiao's words. Every time she thought how her mother was mistreated in the Freedom Union City, she wanted to kill. Right now, in the Freedom Union City, Bai Ling, in a snow-white robe, walked slowly into the city. She slightly raised her head and looked at the Freedom Union City where she had lived for more than 10 years, and her thoughts drifted away into a trance. Just then, a group of people perceived the Bai Ling's approach and immediately landed from the sky. Countless long swords were placed on her neck. Yun Yueching, how can you still have the nerve to come back? The Freedom Union saved you, but you killed leader. Let's take revenge for him now. Bai Ling frowned and coldly looked around at those people. Then she opened her mouth and said word by word, I came here for Long Xia. Tell her to come out. One of the people responded to Bai Ling with a sneer, Miss Lang is right. You killed leader and many strong masters of the Freedom Union. Now you came to kill the only survivor, Miss Lang. Bai Ling, you are really an ungrateful bitch. Not bothering to waste time with these people, Bai Ling made a move, passed through the layer of swords, and flew to the sky with a swish. Lang Xinue, come out. Her cold voice came from the sky and resounded in the air. At this point, however, not far away from here, heavenly lightning suddenly rumbled and hit against a house. Bai Ling squinted slightly and held her breath. Monarch God-level spirit cultivator. At this time, someone was breaking through to the Monarch God level. Was it? Thinking of the possibility, Bai Ling sped toward the point where the heavenly lightning hit. The heavenly lightning was very fierce and kept coming down. Under the heavenly lightning, a house was smashed into ruins. A woman sitting cross-legged in the house leapt into the eyes of Bai Ling. The heavenly lightning ceased. Lang Xinue glared with her eyes wide. She felt her body filled with power. Looking at Bai Ling standing not far away, she gave a contemptuous smile. Yun Yueching, it doesn't seem like you expected this, right? She rose slowly from the ground, her chin high, her face proud. Around her, a group of old men also sat cross-legged. At this time, their faces were pale and they were all in a cold sweat. When they saw this unexpected guest, their eyes were filled with anger. Yun Yueching, how dare you come back? You were disrespectful to the old leader and tried to steal the seal when the old leader's remains were scarcely cold. Then you killed leader because he found out your secret. How can you have such a heart? Even a devil wouldn't be as evil as you. Fortunately, Miss Lang has broken through to the Monarch God level. You can never hurt our Freedom Union. Bai Ling stared at Lang Xinue and listened to the words of these old men. She didn't expect Lang Xinue would shamelessly slander her like this behind her. It turns out Lang Xinue and Ou Lei explained it to you in this way. Having great feelings for the Freedom Union, Bai Ling didn't want these people to be taken advantage of by Lang Xinue. Chapter 2014, Conspiracy Exposed 2. So, ignoring those murderous looks, she continued, but do you think Master's seal could be found so easily? Who but Master knows where his seal is? The crowd all paused. They were so overwhelmed by anger that they didn't think about it. Even though a few of them didn't feel right, they were finally subordinate to the majority. Lang Xinue suddenly issued an aggressive aura and turned the surrounding air depressing. Yun Yueching, don't use these lame arguments. How can you prove that the seal was given to you by Master? Bai Ling stared at Long Xia coldly and asked expressionlessly, firstly, I didn't say I had the seal in my hand. Why are you sure the seal is in my hand? That's because you stole it. Since leader died and I've broken through to the monarch god level, I'll naturally be the leader of the Freedom Union. Hand over the thing you stole. It should belong to me. Long Xia gnashed her teeth. I was also Master's disciple. Why did Master give the seal to Yun Yueqing? Why did he treat Yun Yueqing so specially? Bai Ling ignored Long Xia and turned her eyes to the elders present. Didn't you know what I did for the Freedom Union over the last dozen years? How did Master treat me? And how did I treat Master? Were you blind? Now, just because of Long Xia's words, you've convicted me. You really let me down. The elders were speechless and none of them said a word. Bai Ling sneered, besides, the army of the Four Kingdoms has reached the city gate. Do you really think Long Xia, the fake monarch god-level spirit cultivator, can resist them? No, you're wrong. She'll only drag the Freedom Union down to hell with her. I still have some feelings for the Freedom Union. I thought that if you were willing to help me get Long Xia, I would ask them to forgive the Freedom Union. Unfortunately, I came too late, and you had already passed on your strength to her. How could Bai Ling, the favorite disciple of the old leader, not know about his secret techniques? Seeing the powerless heavenly lightning, she knew Long Xia was just a fake monarch god-level spirit cultivator. Seeing the old men keep silent, Bai Ling went on, yes, Master's seal is really in my hand. But Master secretly gave it to me on his deathbed. If you don't believe it, I can show it to you now. Long Xia frowned, but she wasn't worried. Anyway, Yun Yueqing could no longer pose any threat to her. Ignoring Long Xia, Bai Ling took a seal out of her pocket and injected power into the seal. As she did this, a voice suddenly rang inside the seal. I, Shen Luo, the leader of the Freedom of Union, hereby appoint my disciple, Yun Yueqing, as my successor. From now on, all members of the Freedom Union shall obey her orders and guard her forever. No sooner had the voice fallen than tears began to flow down from some old men's face. It's the voice of the old leader. It's the old leader. Chapter 2015, Death of Long Xia 1. Long Xia's face immediately turned green. She didn't expect that the seal had such a secret. It hid the will of Master. In fact, Bai Ling accidentally discovered it some time ago. Otherwise, she would have returned to the Freedom Union with the seal earlier. Unfortunately, she found it too late, so Long Xia and Ouyulei were able to rule over the Freedom Union for so many days. Gnashing her teeth, Long Xia stared at Bai Ling with a murderous look and said, Elders, do you really believe Bai Ling's words? Maybe it was fabricated by her. I've never heard that a will can be saved in a seal. Hearing her words, several old men said hesitantly, I remember that when the old leader made this seal, he told us that his will would be stored in it, so I believe this will is true. As the seal was lost, the will was also missing, but we didn't expect. They didn't expect the situation reversed so quickly. Long Xia's eyes suddenly lit up with a ferocious gleam and she said grimly, this will doesn't mean anything. Master must have been coerced by her. You'd rather believe this woman than leader and me. She raised a hand and pointed at Bai Ling. Long Xia wanted more than just the death of Bai Ling. She wanted to ruin her reputation as well. Only in this way could she get her revenge. The elders suddenly fell silent and glared at Long Xia, their faces filled with astonishment and anger. Long Xia didn't know what she said to make these old men look at her with such looks. Miss Lang, you said the old leader was coerced by her. Then do you think the old leader was the kind of person who could be easily coerced? You just said that leader and you saw Yun Yueqing looking for the old leader's seal. Since she could coerce the old leader to leave a will in the seal, why should she still look for it? Besides, if she had known about the will, she wouldn't have stayed outside for so many years. Maybe she would have already returned to the Freedom Union. So I think Yun Yueqing discovered the will not long ago. The elders all looked grieved and indignant. At this moment, they knew that they had been beguiled by Long Xia. Long Xia's face changed a little, but soon she calmed down. With a sneer, she looked at the elders contemptuously. Yes, I did make this up. So what, don't you think you found out about it too late? Ha ha. Lang Xinyue suddenly guffawed. Under her wild laughter, the sky changed color and a fierce gale sprang up. Yes, even though they found out the truth, it was too late. Now Lang Xinyue had become the most powerful person on the Fengyun continent. No one would be able to defeat her. Lang Xinyue, you are so despicable. An old man pointed at Lang Xinyue angrily, how dare you take advantage of us? Lang Xinyue stopped laughing and said with a cold smile, that's because you are too stupid. You believed me just because of a few words of mine. But one thing I said is true, my senior brother Ou Lei was killed by Bai Ling's men. Chapter 2016, Death of Lang Xinyue 2. I took your strength because I have to avenge him. Lang Xinyue's eyes flickered with killing intent and she walked slowly towards Bai Ling. Yun Yueqing, why didn't you like leader? Why did you hurt him like that? As far as I can see, you were not worthy of leader's love, but you were dismissive of his love. Every step she went forward, the air turned more depressing. Slightly raising her chin, she looked so haughty and cold. However, under this suffocating pressing power, Bai Ling didn't even bat her eyelids, her snow-white robe fluttering in the breeze. Lang Xinyue was very jealous of her. Since Bai Ling came to the Freedom Union, her position in the Freedom Union was threatened. The young talents who used to surround her all went to Bai Ling. So she secretly vowed that she would defeat this woman one day. Now, at last, she had achieved her goal. Imagining how she would trample Bai Ling under her feet, she laughed louder and her slightly raised eyes were full of disdain. Stop it. Seeing Lang Xinyue walk up to Bai Ling, those elders who were still in grief finally moved. They rushed towards her angrily. A ferocious gleam flickered across Lang Xinyue's eyes. She returned them with a powerful punch. The old man closest to her was immediately struck away and a bloody hole appeared in his body. Everyone else around her was also affected and swept out. These old men used to be reverent god-level spirit cultivators and were greatly respected, but now they were only ordinary people. How could they resist the attack of Lang Xinyue? A single breath of Lang Xinyue would crush them. Elder Shi. Bai Ling's face suddenly changed. As her white figure flashed, she had reached the front of the old men who fell to the ground. Elder Shi, are you all right? Hearing her voice, Elder Shi looked up at the familiar face with difficulty and shouted with all his strength, run. Then he gradually closed his eyes, and his hand slid from Bai Ling's onto the ground as he died. These old men believed Lang Xinyue's words because of their ignorance. But now, he lost his life protecting her. Bai Ling couldn't hate them at this moment, no matter how many mistakes they had made. Her heart was filled with grief and helplessness. The other elders were also hurt, but they were better than Elder Shi. At least they were still alive. Lang Xinyue, we trusted you so much and even passed on our strength to you to avenge leader. But now I know how stupid I was. I harmed Yueqing and the whole Freedom Union. A white-haired old man stood up with difficulty and said resolutely, today, I'll make up for the mistakes we made. Yueqing, leave the Freedom Union now. Run away from here as far as you can. It's our Freedom Union that hurt you, and now it's time for us to make amends. Bai Ling slowly put Elder Zai's body on the ground, and gradually stood up. Her long black hair was fluttering in the wind, her white robe was as pure as snow. She coldly stared at Lang Xinyue, releasing a murderous aura. I am here today to get revenge on Lang Xinyue. How can I leave so easily? Yueqing. The white-haired old man turned pale and looked worried. As if not seeing his look, Bai Ling continued walking toward Lang Xinyue. Chapter 2017, Death of Lang Xinyue 3. You killed Elder Shi. I'll avenge him today. Lang Xinyue looked at Bai Ling up and down and gave her a smile of contempt. Your poison doesn't seem to be completely cleared. You just lied to me that day. Besides, even if your poison has been cleared, you're no match for me. Indeed, I am no match for you now, but I dare to fight you with my life. Do you dare to fight a person who doesn't even care about her life? Bai Ling's face was cold and solemn. With a flick of her hand, a long sword appeared in her hand. Young Luo Feng was coming soon. She must solve Lang Xinyue before young Luo Feng came here. Because she couldn't put her daughter in danger. Even if she would lose her life for this, she had to make sure she was safe. Ha ha. Lang Xinyue chuckled, if you want to die, I can help you. Outside Union City. The three kingdom allied forces had reached the city gate. Yun Xiao and Yun Luo Feng led the army. One of them was dressed in white, while the other was dressed in black. They were a perfect match for each other. Attack! As Yun Luo Feng said this, the three kingdom allied forces broke through the gate and rushed into the city. The members of the Freedom Union didn't know what happened on the other side, so they just followed Long Xinyue's order and launched attacks on these intruders. At the gate, blood flowed like a stream and the field was littered with corpses. Yun Luo Feng stood in the midst of the corpses as if standing at the peak of the continent. With a powerful aura, she looked so formidable. No matter how strong the Union City's army was, they couldn't resist the attack of the three kingdoms. Soon they were completely routed and quickly dispersed by the three kingdom allied forces. Ignore them. Let's go. Yun Luo Feng frowned. Perhaps thinking of Bai Ling who was in the city right now, she couldn't help quickening her pace. The headquarters of the Freedom Union. In the yard, Lang Xinyue struck Bai Ling on the chest and made her back up a few steps. She felt a lump in her throat and spat out a mouthful of blood. Bai Ling wiped the blood on the lower corner of her mouth and rushed towards Lang Xinyue again. There was no suspense about the result of the battle. The poison in Bai Ling's body hadn't been fully cleared. Besides, Lang Xinyue already reached the monarch god level, so Bai Ling was no match for Lang Xinyue and Lang Xinyue's attack caused serious injuries to her body. However, soon the old men found that instead of evading Lang Xinyue's attack, Bai Ling put all her power on the attack. It seemed that she didn't care about her life. She was trying to injure Lang Xinyue even at the expense of her own life. Noticing that, the elders all felt guilty. If they hadn't been so credulous of Lang Xinyue, how could such a thing happen? If Bai Ling died, how could they explain to the old leader after they died? Yun Yuecheng, you are no match for me. As Lang Xinyue turned over her hand, a sword shot into the sky. Its chilly glint was shining in the sky and made people tremble. Bai Ling would be seriously injured or even killed if she was hit by the sword. However, she had no intention of dodging the attack. At the same time, her long sword floated into the sky and chopped at Lang Xinyue fiercely. If Lang Xinyue continued to attack her, she would also be injured. Even if she had broken through to the monarch god level, her breakthrough hadn't been consolidated, so she would also be injured even if this sword hit Bai Ling. Chapter 2018, Death of Lang Xinyue 4. Then if another strong master attacked her, she would be unable to respond. Lang Xinyue quickly withdrew her attack and turned to deal with the sword in the sky. Boom. As a loud noise came from the sky, the whole sky was shaken by a light wave. Being hit by the power, Bai Ling retreated rapidly. Yun Yuecheng, you are crazy. Lang Xinyue was very angry and glared at Bai Ling fiercely. Bai Ling sneered, I've told you I don't care about my life. So I can sacrifice my life and fight you to the death. But you cherish your life so much. No, to be exact, you don't even want to be injured. Then how can you defeat me? Lang Xinyue's eyes turned dark. She was not afraid of being injured but was afraid of the cold man who killed leader. If she was at the peak of her strength, she might be able to defeat him, but if she was injured, she couldn't defeat him. Therefore, she dared not be injured at all. Only in this way could she defeat that man when he came. Lang Xinyue, you are always so cowardly, bullying the weak and fearing the strong. Obviously, Bai Ling's words touched a sore spot for Lang Xinyue and she got angry. Yun Yuecheng, if you don't shut up, I'll tear up your mouth. What, you're afraid of my words? Bai Ling had come to the front of Lang Xinyue. When I came to the Freedom Union, I was much weaker than you, but I managed to surpass you in a short time, which proves that you were always far behind me. Lang Xinyue almost exploded with anger. Anger welled up within him but she tried to keep calm and said with a sneer, Yun Yuecheng, don't try to irritate me. I won't be tricked by you. She realized that Bai Ling was trying to irritate her so that she would fight her with all her might. However, even if she killed the woman, what would she get? Bai Ling scowled. She didn't expect this woman saw through her mind. She did want to irritate her. But she didn't expect Lang Xinyue found out about her intention. I know the man who killed leader is also here. You're trying to anger and injure me when I fight you, so that man can easily kill me, right? Lang Xinyue thought she was so smart that nothing could escape her eyes. It seems that the man is very afraid of me, or else he wouldn't hide and let you come out and fight me. You dare to challenge me just because I just broke through to the monarch god level and haven't consolidated the breakthrough. In just a few more days, even if you're added together, you'll be no match for me. Lang Xinyue confidently thought that Yun Xiao must be so afraid of her that he hid. She firmly believed that Bai Ling wouldn't dare come to challenge her without someone behind her. So, I'll let you off today. There will be ample time for me to settle accounts with you. With that, Lang Xinyue turned, jumped into the sky and rushed towards the city gate. Unfortunately, Lang Xinyue walked only several steps before she was stopped by two people. It was a good-looking couple. They were as beautiful as celestial beings in a picture. However, Lang Xinyue could easily feel the pressing power released by them. Chapter 2019, Death of Lang Xinyue 5. Feng, Xiao, how did you get here? Bai Ling was surprised to see that Luo Feng and Yun Xiao came so quickly. Mom, I came to avenge you. Luo Feng gave a faint smile. Lang Xinyue, I wonder where you're going. Do you think you can get away with your sin? Lang Xinyue scowled and gave a contemptuous smile. Well, after hiding in the dark for so long, you finally dare to come out. Though you called Yun Yueching mother, I don't think you care about her at all, or else you wouldn't have made her the bait and tried to injure me with her life. Not understanding what she meant, Luo Feng frowned, but she didn't bother to ask her. Yun Xiao, I'll avenge my mother myself. Don't interfere. Yun Xiao took a look at Luo Feng and nodded, okay. Seeing Luo Feng's confident look, Lang Xinyue burst into laughter again. Little girl, I admit that you have great talent, but it's simply impossible for you to beat me, a monarch god-level spirit cultivator. Luo Feng smiled. If you were a real monarch god-level spirit cultivator, maybe it would take me a little extra effort to solve you. Unfortunately, you're only a fake monarch god-level spirit cultivator. Her voice slowly rang in the quiet sky, and Lang Xinyue turned pale again. Seeing Lang Xinyue's look, Luo Feng put her arms around her chest, slightly lifted her chin and said with a faint smile, I don't need my husband to help me deal with a fake monarch god-level spirit cultivator. Besides, I don't want you to get his hands dirty. Luo Feng wanted to kill Lang Xinyue herself, so she didn't let Yun Xiao help her. After all, Lang Xinyue almost ruined Bai Ling. How could she let her get away with this? Presumptuous. Lang Xinyue snorted and jumped up. As she attacked, a powerful force fiercely struck against Luo Feng. A fierce gale sprang up at the same time. Under the fierce gale, Luo Feng's hair was wildly fluttering in the wind. In a snow-white robe, she looked like a celestial being. Boom. Just when Lang Xinyue's sword was going to hit Luo Feng hard, Luo Feng's body was suddenly surrounded by a hard dragon-scale armor. With a thunk, Lang Xinyue's hand shivered, her arms went numb, and a gleam of shock appeared in her eyes. This dragon-scale armor is a treasure. Noticing her greedy eyes, Luo Feng smiled, you want my dragon-scale armor? You don't deserve to have such a treasure. In other words, only she, a monarch god-level spirit cultivator, could be worthy of the dragon-scale armor. If you want it, snatch it from me. Luo Feng cast a wicked glance at her. There are a lot of people who coveted my dragon-scale armor, but they're all dead. As she spat out the last word, her aura turned more murderous and even the temperature dropped. The air was suffocating. They were stupid, but I am different. Lang Xinyue said coldly, today, I will defeat you and let you pay the price for your arrogance. However, as Lang Xinyue rushed towards Luo Feng, she suddenly stumbled and fell headlong in front of Luo Feng. Chapter 2020, Death of Lang Xinyue 6. Everyone was stunned and looked shocked. No one knew what happened. 1 minute ago, Lang Xinyue was still so arrogant, but now she knelt to Luo Feng. Lang Xinyue was stunned, too. She was embarrassed and got up, but after she walked a few steps, her leg was numb and she fell again. The person you should feel guilty to is my mother. You don't need to kneel to me. Even if you want to apologize, you should apologize to her, said Luo Feng with a faint smile. Lang Xinyue almost exploded with anger. She didn't kneel to apologize, but You are courting death. She gnashed her teeth and angrily got up again, but just like the first 2 times, she fell again before she could touch young Luo Feng. Her head hit on the ground, and her eyes were popping with pain. Who the hell is it? Who sneak attacked me? Lang Xinyue roared. However, she soon froze. She was already a monarch god-level spirit cultivator. The one who could launch a sneak attack on her must be stronger than her. Young Luo Feng turned his eyes to Yun Xiao. Looking at her smiling face, Yun Xiao couldn't help avoiding her eyes. I didn't get my hands dirty. Quote. He thought that young Luo Feng didn't want him to interfere because she was afraid that he might get his hands dirty. Yun Xiao felt more and more nervous when he saw young Luo Feng keep smiling and not saying a word. And I didn't touch her. Then why did she kneel? Young Luo Feng asked, raising her eyebrows. In an instant, all eyes had turned to Yun Xiao and stared at him with shock. Was he the one who sneak attacked Lang Xinyue? Hearing young Luo Feng's words, Yun Xiao answered honestly, I just moved my feet a little. Yeah, he used his feet. He just kicked a stone with his foot and hit Lang Xinyue's acupoint. He didn't move his hand from beginning to end. It was you. Lang Xinyue was almost mad with anger when she found the one who sneak attacked her was Yun Xiao. She didn't forget that he also killed leader. So she rushed towards young Luo Feng like crazy, and the sword in her hand was shining with a chilly glint. Yun Xiao frowned slightly. A powerful aura surged out of his body and turned the whole world dim. Get lost. Boom. With that, a powerful wave of light seemed to gather in front of him, and struck Lang Xinyue hard on the chest, sending her flying. Under the sky, the man was standing still, with both hands clasped on his back and his black eyes were filled with killing intent. If young Luo Feng hadn't said that she wanted to avenge his mother-in-law herself, he would have killed her. Lang Xinyue fell to the ground and blood was pouring out from her mouth. Her eyes were wide open and full of disbelief. Are you also a monarch god-level spirit cultivator? No, it's impossible. I remember you were still a reverent god-level spirit cultivator half a month ago. Why had he become a monarch god-level spirit cultivator only half a month later? Bai Ling also looked at Yun Xiao curiously, how could you break through within half a month? This bland remark magically made Yun Xiao blush. How should he tell his mother-in-law that he managed to reach the monarch god level because he had dual cultivation with young Luo Feng in the last half a month? Chapter 2021, Death of Lang Xinyue 7. Yes. In the last half a month, Yun Xiao, who was going to have a breakthrough, became a monarch god-level spirit cultivator. Unlike Lang Xinyue, a fake monarch god-level spirit cultivator, he was a real monarch god-level spirit cultivator. Lang Xinyue was simply no match for him. Seeing Yun Xiao being embarrassed, young Luo Feng stepped forward and explained for him, Mom, Yun Xiao got an opportunity, so he made the breakthrough. Bai Ling was still puzzled. Since it was because of an opportunity, why did Yun Xiao blush? Cough. Lang Xinyue lay on the ground face down. As she coughed, a trace of power came out of her mouth. Feeling the power, young Luo Feng frowned and said, Yun Xiao, beat her until she spits out all the power she has swallowed. Lang Xinyue, who was still thinking about how to escape, suddenly turned pale with fear when she heard this. She raised her head in surprise, only to see that the cold man in black had arrived at her eyes. With a bang, a mighty force struck her chest. Bletch. Lang Xinyue vomited another mouthful of blood, and the powers she swallowed were constantly flowing out of her mouth. As the power poured out, Lang Xinyue felt the spiritual energy inside her was diminishing. It freaked her out and she looked panic-stricken. However, Yun Xiao never showed mercy to his enemy just because the enemy was a woman. His attack was even fiercer. Lang Xinyue couldn't bear it at all, and the powers, ball-shaped, kept flowing out of her mouth. Roar. A dragon's roar suddenly resounded throughout the sky. Little Bug suddenly appeared in front of young Luo Feng. He quickly swam towards Lang Xinyue, opened his mouth and swallowed all the power flowing out of her mouth. The moment he swallowed all the powers, he grew rapidly from a bug to a giant dragon. The sky was full of clouds, and heavenly lightning rumbled and hit hard on Little Bug. Little Bug shivered in pain. The elders of the Freedom Union were all dumbfounded. Lang Xinyue didn't make the breakthrough with her own strength, so it had a negative impact on her. That was why the heavenly lightning coming for Lang Xinyue was so weak. It was because the heavenly Tao knew that Lang Xinyue could pose no threat. But now, the heavenly lightning was so fierce as if it was trying to strike the dragon dead. Yun Yi. Yun Luo Feng called softly. Yun Yi's strong body suddenly appeared in front of Little Bug. He opened his arms and welcomed the striking lightning bolt. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. As the lightning struck down fiercely, Yun Yi's body was strengthened and his silhouette became clearer. His ordinary face suddenly shone and looked so attractive and powerful. After quite a while, the lightning disappeared, and Yun Yi landed from the sky and walked slowly towards Yun Luofeng. Then, Yun Luofeng heard him say the first words in his life, "Master." His pronunciation was not very standard, and his voice was a little stiff like a baby who just learned to speak, which sounded cute and innocent. A gleam of surprise flickered across Yun Luofeng's eyes. "Yun Yi, can you speak?" Yun Yi was a puppet who only knew to take orders and couldn't think or speak. But now, Yun Yi was able to speak even though he didn't have a soul. Chapter 2022, Death of Lang Xinyue 8. All of a sudden, Yun Luofeng recalled the written record in Zhu Qian's book. A true puppet differs in no way from normal humans. When placed among crowds, no one could make out their identity. However, even Zhu Qian hadn't perfected the puppet, but right now, had she coincidentally discovered the method. Lightning. Yun Luofeng was suddenly enlightened. It was those heavenly bolts of lightning that made Yun Yi complete, allowing him to have human emotions. "Yun Yi, you've worked hard. Return and have a rest." Yun Luofeng did not notice the spectators' shocked expressions as she quietly commanded. "Okay." Yun Yi's voice was very hoarse. As it was the first time he had consciousness, it resulted in him looking somewhat confused. However, everyone else gasped because of Yun Yi's emergence. Monarch God level. He's actually a monarch god. Furthermore, he even addressed Yun Luofeng as master. Oh, that's right, that huge dragon who swallowed Lang Xinyue's power had also broken through to monarch god level. In this case, who else in this Fengyun continent could contend against Yun Luofeng? Yi Yan, the daughter of Ziyu Kingdom's general, had long been shocked and she trembled upon witnessing the strength behind Yun Luofeng. Originally, she was still secretly aiming for Yun Xiao, but at that moment, she did not even dare to have that slightest thought. That woman was too terrifying. She had a monarch god-level dragon and puppet. If she attempted to snatch her man, wouldn't she simply be seeking death? Fortunately, her father had always obstructed her, or else she would have no longer existed. After the power leaked out, Lang Xinyue's strength regressed to reverent god level. She coughed out blood once again and her eyes filled with resentment and anger glanced towards Bai Ling, then Yun Luofeng. She wanted to say something, but was powerless to do so. Ultimately, she slowly shut her eyes and all signs of breathing ceased. After Lang Xinyue's death, the Three Kingdoms army encircled the entire Freedom Alliance. Those elders started panicking as their voices trembled. Misunderstanding. Everything is a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding. Yun Luofeng narrowed her eyes. If it was a misunderstanding, would all of you have transferred your powers to Lang Xinyue? The elders' expression changed. They knew they were at fault, and when they faced Yun Luofeng's questioning, they could not utter a single word. Bai Ling sighed and said, "Forget it. On the account that they wanted to rescue me at the last moment, spare them. Dispatch some people to bury Elder Shi. No matter how many mistakes they have committed in the past, it was all because they had been deceived by Lang Xinyue." Yueqing, those elders instantly released a sigh of relief when they heard her defending them. Now that Lang Xinyue is dead, I wonder if you're willing to inherit the Freedom Alliance and become our leader. Bai Ling turned towards the elders and slowly said, "The Freedom Alliance no longer requires a leader." Yueqing, everyone's expression changed. Bai Ling was the Alliance's last line of hope, and how could they be willing to let go? Yueqing, you're the only one left to lead our Freedom Alliance. Don't tell me you want a group of elders to take charge. Furthermore, we've lost our powers and the members of the Freedom Alliance might not necessarily be willing to heed us. Bai Ling shook her head. Master's intention of establishing the Freedom Alliance was so the experts in this world wouldn't be suppressed by the Four Kingdoms. Now that the 4 kingdoms are under my daughter, we have to revise this regulation. Therefore, there's no longer any need for the Freedom Alliance to exist. Chapter 2023, Death of Long Xia 9. But. No buts. Bai Ling turned to young Luo Feng. Feng or I will disband the Freedom Alliance and there's no need for them to continue existing on this continent. She was even more unwilling to become the leader. Right now, she only wished to accompany her daughter by her side. Alright, I will pass down an order, preventing the 4 kingdoms from forcing any experts to join their kingdoms. Young Luo Feng was silent for a moment. However, I have something even more important to attend to right now. After speaking, she turned towards the Freedom Alliance. Where's Princess Jinyang of the Jinyang Kingdom? Princess Jinyang. Their confusion was apparent from their expressions. We've never met Princess Jinyang. Never met her before. Young Luo Feng furrowed her brows. Long Xia took Jinyang away and naturally she would locate her within the Freedom Alliance. How is it possible you've never met her? Or are you still unwilling to speak of the truth at this point in time? Her voice was filled with menace. Yun Xiao's unfeeling eyes also swept over them, and his killing intent was apparent. Hold on. Seemingly recalling something, someone said, previously Long Xia did bring back a woman, but she didn't mention anything about her identity. I wonder, is she the Princess Jinyang you spoke of? Where is she right now? Young Luo Feng asked. That person seemed somewhat lacking in confidence. Long Xia mentioned that she has a so-called pure yin body and can assist men in increasing their cultivation. Therefore, she was thrown into the medicine cave. Many days have passed and I presume she would have been successfully trained. I'm afraid she might have already been. He did not complete his sentence as his meaning was very obvious. Young Luo Feng released her suppressive aura and coldly said, lead the way. Yes. Cold sweat trickled down due to fright as he prayed for Princess Jinyang to be completely intact. Otherwise, probably the entire Freedom Alliance would be done for and even Yueching wouldn't protect them. Medicine Cave. A woman was curled up within and she could feel those densely packed worms burrowing into her body. Her body trembled from the extreme pain but she persisted on, not uttering a single sound as she bit her lips. At this moment, the door was opened and a young man entered. He pulled up Lien Yusheng who was almost completely incapable of moving. It's about time for us brothers to enjoy the feast. Ha ha, the young man wantonly laughed. Long Xia had stationed them there to safeguard Lien Yusheng some time ago. Therefore, they were unaware of what had happened in the outside world. During this period of time, Lien Yusheng suffered from both mental and bodily torture. It wasn't medicinal herbs placed within the medicine cave but instead, some poisonous worm bred using medicine. These poisonous worms would bore into her body from time to time, leaving behind their venom. As a result, this would perfect her pure yin physique. However, Lien Yusheng lowered her eyes as a chilly glint flashed through them. She tightly clenched her fists as her heart was filled with coldness. The young man dragged Lien Yusheng out of the medicine cave to a back mountain where countless young men waited for her. There were even some who sent her a lewd smile. We've struck good fortune this time. Not only is she beautiful, but she also has a pure yin physique. With her, it'll allow our strength to break through even faster. Chapter 2024, Death of Long Xia 10. But then again, why the need to commit such acts in the rear mountain? Tisk, you're ignorant. The rear mountain of our alliance is planted with numerous spirit herbs and with its effects, it'll allow our cultivation speed to increase. In any case, this woman can't escape and there's no need for worry. You're right, I doubt she'll have the courage to jump off the cliff. After all, there's a powerful spirit beast below and she would simply be seeking death if she were to jump. As the saying goes, a bad life is better than a good death. These young men started conversing and laughed heartily, while no one noticed Lien Yusheng's expression that darkened. Lien Yusheng abruptly laughed and her smile replaced her previous aloofness. It was beautiful to the extent of moving one's heart. Do you all wish for dual cultivation with me so much? Her voice contained tenderness, causing them to go limp and numb. Why don't you come first? All of a sudden, Lien Yusheng pointed to a slender man while her eyes were slightly flickering. That man was instantly overjoyed as he hadn't expected the beauty to select him. He then immediately undressed and pounced towards Lien Yusheng with a hearty laugh. The others weren't anxious, as their turn would come shortly. The slender man was completely unguarded towards a beauty like Lian Yusheng. Just as he pounced on her, he suddenly saw a blade appear in her hands, which was then pressed against his neck. "Don't move or I'll kill him." Lian Yusheng's smile completely disappeared as her expression turned chilly while she sternly shouted. For a moment, everyone was stunned for a moment before they revealed sneers. "Do you think we'll let you off if you capture him? What a joke. Miss Lang would never let you leave and you don't even have the strength to walk out, do you?" Lian Yusheng narrowed her eyes. "I haven't thought about escaping. I merely didn't wish for you to approach me." While speaking, Lian Yusheng slowly retreated to the edge of the cliff. Those men burst into loud laughter. "Little miss, you better not resist and you can't possibly threaten us. Killing him would make one less competitor and why would we save?" Just as he spoke, he was shocked as he suddenly realized Lian Yusheng's motive. "Quick, stop her, this woman is thinking of jumping the cliff." However, it was too late. Lian Yusheng held that slender man and her body leaned back, intending to fall down the cliff. At the same time, she loosened her hand and allowed that extremely frightened man to drop down while at the same time, witnessed his fall into that ferocious beast's mouth. This was a good ending too. Death was preferable to dishonor. Even if she was gobbled up by that ferocious beast, it was better than being humiliated by them. Lian Yusheng closed her eyes, while a faint smile quirked up. At that moment she felt a hand embracing her waist as her originally falling body came to a stop, causing her to tremble as she slightly opened her eyes. A devastatingly gorgeous appearance reflected in her eyes. That woman's features were exquisite, and her brows revealed aggressiveness. Her snow-white robes were similar to an immortal descending into the human world, while her hand had dragged her out of the abyss. Lian Yusheng's heart couldn't help but tremble. Her originally despairing eyes revealed a hint of hope. "Why is she here? Did she come here to save me? But why? We were merely complete strangers." Chapter 2025, Crisis 1. While all sorts of feelings welled up within Lian Yusheng, young Luo Feng had steadily landed on the ground. Her eyes swept across the numerous geniuses while revealing a cold biting gaze, causing everyone to feel chill that spread throughout their body. So the Freedom Alliance is merely so. She released Lian Yusheng as her light-hearted footsteps headed towards the group of geniuses. "Who are you? How dare you intrude in our Freedom Alliance?" That group of geniuses was astonished, but they still unsheathed their weapons and pointed them at young Luo Feng. "I came here to kill you, scum of the community." Young Luo Feng smirked and upon raising her hand, a raging tempest abruptly appeared and attacked. Before they managed to react, they received a powerful blow and swiftly flew out. And they just happened to land before an elder who had led young Luo Feng there. "Elder, you're finally here." That genius felt heartened, and before he had the chance to speak, he was interrupted by the elder's unfeeling voice. "We were all duped by Long Xia. The old leader had passed the seal to Yueching long ago and left his last will. Even those words before were fabricated by the leader. This lady here is Yueching's daughter and the woman who was nearly defiled by all of you as the Jinyang Kingdom's princess." The geniuses' expressions changed as they momentarily forgot about begging for forgiveness. "You're on your own." The elder sighed with helplessness and turned to leave after casting a last glance at these geniuses that were shocked silly. Lian Yusheng stared intently at the white-robed lady before her as complicated feelings welled up her heart. Those people she regarded as her family personally pushed her out, and instead, a complete stranger had extended a helping hand. How could she not be bitterly disappointed? "Miss." Those group of geniuses finally understood the situation from the elder and no longer put on high airs. With a plop, they all knelt down. "Please let us off, we failed to recognize the truth and fell for Long Xinyue's lies. We request that you forgive us this time, and we won't dare to do this in the future." He fiercely kowtowed, to the extent his forehead was bruised, and acted as if he felt nothing. Shortly after, fresh blood flowed out from his forehead. However, he only felt the fear present in his heart, completely not sensing the pain on his forehead. "You're saying that you believed in Long Xinyue's lies and committed such mistakes. Is that right?" Young Luo Feng narrowed her eyes as a sinister glint streaked across. That person hastily nodded. "That's right, this was what happened." Young Luo Feng laughed. Unfortunately, in my opinion, all of you were controlled by your bodily desires, and even without Long Xia Medicial, you would still capture her after discovering Jinyang's existence. Just so that you could satisfy your desires. As young Luo Feng approached, they all felt an oppressive aura and raised their heads in dismay. What was reflected in their eyes was the woman's devastatingly gorgeous appearance. So, young Luo Feng stopped and coldly said, while pointing to the edge of the cliff, "Will you jump down on your own accord, or will I have to throw you down?" All the geniuses sucked in a cold breath and met each other's gazes. Run! Instantly, they turned and escaped. However, before they got any further, they had been lifted by their lapels and then ruthlessly thrown down towards the overhanging cliff.